차렷, 경례. Okay, everyone, this is the interview that about 40 of my subscribers are young realtors in my company been really waiting for. So without further ado, I'm here with Kara. Kara, would you say hi to our people on this channel?
Hello, 안녕.
That's great. Well, Kara, I think, speaks 3 languages, Korean, English. What's the other one that you speak?
Oh, I speak Spanish poorly
Okay.
now. I think I forget a lot. I speak a little Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Well, the reason she's on this little interview is to, help my agents kind of, you know, learn about how to becoming a successful young realtor. So before we start, how long have you been in real estate?
I'm going on 5 years.
5 years. I believe you started in 2016 then,
Oh,
or
20,
2015.
right.
Okay,
Hmm.
2015, and then you were with the independent brokerage, and then you went to Keller Williams in 2016, correct?
Exactly.
And have you been with Keller Williams all this time?
Since 2016, yes.
Okay, great. First time I saw you, it was on this magazine. And when I first saw this magazine, I said, is she Korean or Vietnamese? I wasn't quite sure,
Right.
but I'm so happy to find out that you're Korean American. Is that correct?
Yep, yep. Well, I
That's
was born in Korea, right?
great. So just tell us a little bit about how you started. So you started, you got in there. I know you had 100,000 in medical student. I mean, you were going to be a medical student, but you had a debt there, and you started, and you didn't know what you're doing. But how did you get started?
Yeah. So I went to medical school and accrued a nice little bit of debt despite having scholarships. Um, so yeah, I think at that time I decided I wanted to have children before I was too old.
Mhm.
And that was something I felt was important to me. And so I did, and I decided to put my professional medical career to the side indefinitely while I focused on the family.
Mhm.
And when my first son was about 7 months old, maybe,
Mhm.
I just realized I needed something else intellectually stimulating. So, and I also wanted to support my husband who is going through medical school as well.
Mhm.
So I kind of delved into a few different things. Um, I exercised some racehorses. I did some tutoring. So I did various things. And then I decided to get my real estate license and give it a whirl. And yeah, you know, for the first few months, I really didn't do much.
Mhm.
I was learning, putting in a lot of hours and not getting much back. But I
Mhm.
started in October, and when the spring hit, it just
Mhm.
sort of blew up.
So how did it just blow up? Because it usually just doesn't blow up. What were you doing at the time?
Okay. When I first began, I probably put in at least 40 hours a week.
Mhm.
I sat by the phone in the office, but I wasn't just sitting there. The whole time I was working on establishing my brand, trying to decide what I was going to focus on, learning from the other agents in the office and outside the office, building relationships, reaching out to clients, educating myself. I was putting in that investment.
Okay.
And just like most investments, I put in the initial
Mhm.
investment, but didn't see the return until later.
Right. Typically, my average is about 6 months before you start seeing some results. So maybe that was just kind of, you put a lot of effort. So what was your typical prospecting method or time you spend on prospecting?
That's a good question, John. I did sit by the phone a lot. And it's funny because, I get on the phone now. I'm sure like you, we are very natural on the phone and with people.
Right.
At first, I was so awkward.
Me too.
It was so awkward. I didn't know how to talk to people. And I think I don't know. I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned a lot of things just from talking to people on the phone and in person. And I think I made a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that. I just made a lot of mistakes at first. But I just kept going and talking to people. Prospecting, I sat by the phone, and, it's funny. I don't think your source really matters. Once you can reach people various ways, but once you get people who believe in you, in that, give them the quality and make them raving fans, then it just exponentially increases, which I'm sure you know.
Well, this is amazing because I have a lot of young brokers. I have one of my young brokers make 800 calls in one day, which I was very impressed.
800?
Yeah, 800 calls.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't talk to 800 people, but he made the effort to call 800 people a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I think he's going to be a superstar in about a year.
Sure. I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe.
So you're a superstar. If I remember correctly, you got to 68 sides in about 4 years in your career. Is that right? Or was it earlier?
2 years. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
Oh, no. I think my first year was 36.
Woo, man.
I mean, and mind you, for the first 4 to 6 months, there was nothing. So I still ended the year. My goal was to make 6 figures. And the next year, my goal was to double it.
Wow.
I did 36 sides. I guess I was a little short of doubling it, but I did more than double my income. So yeah, goals.
So, oh my goodness. And oh my God. So I'm going to ask you, how about third year and fourth? What does it look like now?
So first year I did 6.8 million. Second year, 12.1 million. And I know different country are different. Here in Pennsylvania, it's my average sales price was under 200,000 my first year. Probably closer to 300,000. But my third year I did 51 million. I had a second child my third year. So things slowed down dramatically after the second child, which was a big mistake.
No,
I'm joking.
Way.
I'm joking. No, I love my children. Your reaction was funny though.
Oh man. Oh man.
So yeah, and then last year I think I did about 21 million.
That's impressive. Oh my gosh. Wow.
No,
so,
I mean, it's not really anything compared to some of the people out there, but for me it was fun. Yeah.
That's great. Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you.
So I'm going to go back 2017 when you got your 30 under 30 award. Who did you call first? Like when you found out?
Oh, definitely my husband.
Okay. Not your mom?
No, my husband, he is definitely the man behind the scenes. I absolutely could not do this without him. You know, well, there was an agent in our office who told my husband, Kara should apply for 30 under 30. And then my husband supported me. He would take the baby so I could work on the applications. I had just had the baby, I think the day before I put in my application, something like this. So
that's so amazing.
He's definitely He's the superstar. I'm just
Mhm.
the face.
Oh, well, talking about awards, I noticed you were applying for like top 100 realtors. Was that last year or this year?
That was last year and this year. I
Mhm.
didn't put in an application for that. They,
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how they found me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. That's great. So now what kind, do you own rental properties? Do you own commercial properties? What do you do as far as investments?
yep, I own both. Mhm.
Oh, good, good. Just tell us a little bit, what was your first investment property?
First investment. Actually, the first investment I made was into a business.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a top golf kind of concept,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, that ended up not being as lucrative.
Mm-hmm. It
Uh,
happens. Yeah.
yeah, I think that was my very first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think my next one was a flip in Texas, actually.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I started buying up some rental properties. Yeah.
Perfect. So in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, is that where you buy or?
Yes.
Okay.
Close to where I live, Harrisburg, Hershey, Hummelstown. Hmm.
Okay. So what's the market looking like over there for as investment properties? What kind of cap rate are you getting or what kind of return?
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I might have to teach you that a little.
You need to teach me that, yes.
Okay.
uh, I don't know. I think everybody has their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
I am not very interested in the numbers, which is, I think, kind of surprising for most people.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my husband is, and he
Mm-hmm.
supports me there. But for me,
Great.
I think I just have this
Mm-hmm.
a gut instinct about when I know something's good. And
That's
so
awesome.
I just buy it, and we've not lost any money in anything
Mm-hmm.
except
Yes.
for horse racing, which we did for a little bit, and that was not lucrative.
Yeah.
But you have to diversify, and it's good to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So let's change the topic a little bit. What kind of technology do you use in your regular day-to-day real estate sales?
Uh, not much, honestly. And I
Okay.
think oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you use CRM or anything like that?
I don't.
Ah. How do you
Right.
keep track of your clients?
I have tried various softwares and programs, and I find that for me, the simpler it is, the better, just because I'm not very smart.
Perfect SAT scores, and you're not very smart.
I think that for me, I just need
Uh-huh.
that simplicity. So I really
Hmm.
just use a simple Excel sheet, and then I also use Notes, the app
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
my app on my MacBook
Hmm.
that also connects to my iPhone.
That's so funny because I'm coaching a lot of young agents, and I use pen and paper.
Oh, really? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I use binders. I put categorize leads, advocates, and past clients in 3 binders, and that's my whole business.
Yes, yes. I think that you can make it too complicated.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really do. Good for
mm,
you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I am so impressed with everything. Before we give out the final question, I want you to talk a little bit about your Korean American heritage.
Korean American heritage?
Or is
Okay.
that not Korean American? So I don't know.
Oh, what do you mean?
So are you you were born in Korea
Mm-hmm.
and your father and mother were both Koreans?
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
good. So you emigrated when you were about 5 or 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So do you still feel a little bit connection to Korea?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I I love Korea.
Me
It's
too.
funny.
Look at me. I love
Yeah,
Korea.
I can't tell. I I think it definitely makes up a huge part of who I am. Um, Although I came here at a young age,
Hmm.
I very much identify myself as Korean,
Hmm.
and I just feel so privileged to have both experiences. And I'm very grateful to my parents for making the sacrifices they did to, you know, have us come here, which
Yeah.
was not easy at all. It took us 11 years to get our citizenship. So,
Wow, 11
right,
years. Woo.
because of 9/11 that happened and all this. And so, yeah, I was born in Seoul, and my Korean name is Kwon Ye-kyung.
Kwon
And
Ye-kyung. Okay.
yeah, and when I think of myself, I definitely, that's probably the strongest identity I have in terms of names. Um, and yeah, I think in central Pennsylvania, there aren't many Koreans.
Mhm.
So I watch a lot of Korean dramas and movies to stay connected. And of course,
So do you do like the BT? Do you see that BTS on the? I don't think you
oh,
see that.
wait,
There you
what?
go.
BTS? Where? Oh, is it on your butt?
Yeah, it's on my butt.
I love BTS. That's amazing. It's like a customized uniform.
Yeah,
That's
I did it on purpose.
wow. I would love to learn Taekwondo from you. Is it Taekwondo or
Yeah.
Taekwondo? What do you
No,
do?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's you know, made up a lot of my work ethic and my view on life. And yeah, I don't know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we end our interview, we always kind of try to end with this one golden nugget advice for young brokers who are just starting. What would be that one golden nugget of advice you could give?
Okay. I think there are a lot of helpful resources out there that teach you about sales and real estate and all this. At the end of the day, I think that everybody should focus on what they love. It sounds so cheesy, but honestly, if you like numbers, focus on the numbers. If you don't like numbers like me, then focus on what you do like. So for me, I love the people aspect, the socialization. And so for me, it's all about making the connection and quality of contact versus quantity of contact. And that works really well for me. And I don't obsess over the CRMs or and guess what? There are people who do, and they do very well with that. That's just, for me, it's the cost of it personally is not worth the return, but the cost of listening to somebody's life story, or you know, going out and finding tennis partners who then, you know, yeah, right, we should play tennis sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next time we're in Colorado, I'll call you.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
call you.
yeah.
But yeah, just, and really, I'm amazed by the people that call 800 contacts a day. I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, me too.
And for me, I don't like calling, so I text probably 800 times a day.
Great. Whatever your method is, right?
Whatever your method is, right? And I don't go out there and purposely seek business very much. I just, you know, I have 2 children, and I play tennis, and we're involved. I'm obsessed with animals. I have a lot of different hobbies that I like, and I meet people in those places, and then we naturally talk about real estate. But it's really quite effortless. I think that you can tailor this industry to what you like to do in life. And that's one of the really great things about real estate, wouldn't you say, John?
Yes.
Is that you don't have to do it one way. You can do it however you like.
I hope our agents enjoyed our class. 차렷, 경례.